The European Parliament is now in a plenary session for the next couple of days in Strasbourg. Obviously Brexit is on the agenda, a debate on the upcoming EU summit. So here is what a few European parliamentarians have said today. A centre-right Spanish MEP, Esteban González Pons, wants to talk about Gibraltar, which is a British overseas territory down there at the bottom of the Iberian Peninsula. This guy is bringing plenty of sound bites, calling it a money launderer's paradise and a foreign colony. I imagine there are more than a few Spanish politicians who see Brexit as a real chance for Spain to take sovereignty of Gibraltar. The British government will not allow this, one assumes. It's a thorny issue. Considerably more thorny and dangerous is the Irish border issue. A hard border is something we want to avoid. Even though the EU and the UK have been able to agree on many things over the past couple of years, the Irish border issue has remained a dangerous sticking point. Sinn Féin MEP Lynn Boylan said, quote, "None of the Tories have any real concern about Ireland other than using us to score points in their internal party battle," unquote. I don't think that that's true. Some Conservatives do care, but when Lynn Boylan says some Conservatives would happily tear up the Good Friday Agreement, I'm inclined to agree with her. Actually doing that would be playing with fire, to say the least. A return to darker days is not something any reasonable person wants, but not everyone is reasonable. This MEP also touched on the lack of reference that was made to the potential problems with the Irish border during the in-out referendum campaign. Yeah, sure, fair enough, but lots of important issues were not covered in the 2016 referendum. The level of debate, the main campaigns being run by both Leave and Remain, were infantilizing. It wasn't a proper grown-up debate. It was ugly, unedifying, dare I say. But that benefited some people, to drag the whole thing down into the dirt. I suppose it's easy to see things with the benefit of hindsight. Yeah, Captain Hindsight, eh? Political selfishness, party politics, and silly jingoism have landed us in this mess. And as I speak, the Conservative Party conference is in full swing in Birmingham. Silly jingoism, political manoeuvring, and figureheads claiming to act in the national interest when it's actually about party politics and career ambitions. Oh yeah, that's a Tory party conference, folks. Back to the European Parliament, Roberto Galtieri, who is an Italian social democrat, he is on the Brexit steering group. He's been kind of optimistic, I guess, saying that a balanced and strong agreement is still possible. And of course, this is true, but the clock is ticking faster now. And he spoke about the need for a backstop plan on the Irish border issue, which is complicated, the backstop. Think of it as a safety net to be put in place to stop a hard border on the island of Ireland should the EU and the UK fail to secure a full exit deal. Thing is, the EU doesn't want to get into agreeing to a transitional period or more substantive trade talks and potential arrangements until this backstop is agreed to. But the UK government says it won't agree to any arrangement which undermines the Union, like Northern Ireland having a separate status, staying in the customs union and effectively the single market. So this is potentially causing, depending on how this plays out, a constitutional crisis. Both the EU and the UK seem to be hardening positions now, which is deeply concerning, since it's October now, and this shit needs to get sorted out soon. Something has got to give. Considering the current state of her own party and the current state of Parliament, and considering public support, or lack thereof, it's clear that the Prime Minister's Chequers plan, as it stands, will not work. This was her big pitch back in the summer, and it won't fly. So, dare I say, we need new leadership. But the PM is ruling out a general election, which is something that I would like to see, a Labour government. She's saying it's not in the national interest. It's not in the Tories' interest, is the truth. But could Tory rebels, hard Brexiteers, call for a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister and trigger a leadership contest? Possible. Yeah. You think things are messy and fractious now? It can always get worse. This is a shit show.